check, mic check.
This beat got a little bit of swag to it. Gotta let it ride out. This beat cocky. We on tour. I ain't had 96, I need more. Gotta mix the boom with the clap. 94. Watch me shake the room through the floor. 94 bases in the spot, give me more. Party in the back to the front. What? If you don't give a scream, we don't give a. Let's take it to the room, face down. Joe Budden, pump it up. East Coast scream like it's East Side. Got the West Coast tracks on the B-side. Better down south, let this beat fly. I'm just in New York on the seaside. Drop top, homie, bass not for me. Yeah, this that street rock, homie. Tougher than that sheet rock, homie. I beatbox, homie. When's the last time New York had rap? What's that trappish? Tell Puff, Pappers. I think Shorty just a jump off. Shorty took the bumps off. Baby backstage by the front door. Give shit like the party. Drunk off a Cardi. Hitting your do say. Same thing you say. White girls, I'm sorry. Don't play with Barbies. Life of the party. And we on tour. I ain't had since 96. I need more. Gotta mix the boom with the claps. 94. Watch me shake the room through the floor. 94 bases in the spot. Give me more. Party in the back to the front. What? If you don't give a scream, we don't give a. Let's take it to the room, face down. Suck, Joe Budden, pump. We on tour. I ain't had since 96. I need more. Gotta mix the boom with the claps.
Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to ItsDjLee TV. We can get right into this thing, alright? Had a lot of technical difficulties getting into this one today, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump right into it. And if you guys remember last time, what we did was we ended off making a beat real quick. It had nothing but a pad and some drums in it. So what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep editing that same beat, and we're gonna actually get into mixing that beat, panning that beat, splitting out our sounds into mono, because not every sound can be stereo. If you guys remember last time I said that. So as usual, guys, before we get started, make sure you guys like, share, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, hit me on my email, hit me on my Instagram. It's ItsDjLee. Alright. If you guys are trying to reach out to me, send me some of your work, hit me up. It's DJLeemusic@gmail.com. Shout out to OD Hustle, shout out to Olympian Official, shout out to ItsDjLee, and shout out to ItsDjLee TV. Alright, guys, that's the sponsors right there. We're gonna get right into this thing, man. Before we even get started, man, I just want to let y'all know that right now we pushing P. Alright, we trending pushing P, so we pushing P right now on this live. If you're trying to learn exactly how to be a producer, how to be a better artist, a better audio engineer, sound engineer, audio designer, whatever you guys are into, whatever you guys are specializing in as your career, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it by using ProTools. Alright, so as usual, buckle up. It's going to get rough, it's going to get interesting, but we're here. Alright, guys, let's get into it. So like I said before, we started off with this beat right here. It's very simple. Not too much to that beat. Alright, guys, all I wanted to do was get a foundation down, and we can go ahead and add things on later on. But before we do that, what we're going to do to this specific beat is we're going to go ahead and we will split these sounds into mono. So first and foremost, what that means is some sounds you can move left and right, some sounds you can hear in a wider place, some sounds you don't want to hear in a wider place. So things like a kick drum, drums, specific instruments like a trumpet, you don't want to hear all these sounds. Why? You don't want to hear them in a stereo image. That's what it's called. It's called stereo imaging. And when you see a sound field, when you put on headphones, you expect to hear the sound surrounding you. You don't want to hear your kick drum surrounding you. Alright? You want to hear your kick drum right here in front of you. You want to hear your snare drum right here in front of you. You want to hear your hi-hat maybe this side, maybe this side. You want to hear your open hi-hat maybe on this side. You want to hear your clap somewhere over there, or maybe in the middle. You want to hear your 808s punching right down the middle. There's certain things that you want to hear in certain positions as you're mixing and as you're making your song sound great for venues, concerts, radio, cell phones. Everywhere you're going to play your music, you want to have it sounding great. So before we keep going, I just want to show you what sound exactly that we're gonna split up. So this sound right here, since this sound is the meat of our song, it's the body of our song, we're gonna leave this sound in stereo. Only sound that's gonna stay in stereo. The next sound we have is gonna get 808s. We're gonna split that bad boy up. So we're gonna go and click on that bad boy. We're gonna go ahead down to split into mono. Now what this does is as soon as we split it into mono, it creates a left track that's 100 degrees to the left and a right track that's 100 degrees to the right. The original stays right here. Alright? The two duplicates go right below, one pan left, one pan right. This one right here, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna unsolo it, we're gonna hide it and make inactive because we don't need the stereo version of that sound. Alright, out of the other two, I usually take the left side and I pan that one to 0 right in front of us. And the one below it, I unsolo that one. And I'm gonna do the same thing, hide that and make inactive. So now I have, alright, let's put that to 0. Now I have just one 808. Right, and now I can pan that to the left or to the right. But I think it sounds better in the middle, being an 808. The next sound we have is gonna be the kick drum. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the kick drum. Let's go ahead and let's click on that. Let's split into mono. Same situation. We're gonna get rid of the first one. Get rid of the second one. If you want to know how to do that, how to highlight more than one and skip it on, you can hold down Command if you're using a MacBook or if you're using anything like that. Hold down Command and the ones that you want to get rid of. And let's get rid of them bad boys. Alright. Delete. Alright, make sure you guys hit me up on my live chat right now. If you got questions, hit me up on that live chat. Go back to that sound. Let's put that one in the middle as well. So we got the kick in the middle, 808 in the middle. Next sound we got is going to be our hi-hats. Let's zoom in. Alright, so our hi-hats. Same thing with the hi-hats. I know that me specifically, I know all these sounds are going to get separated. I do this so many times. I know what's going to get separated, what's not going to get separated. Original goes, this one goes, unsolo. Let's hide and make it active. Alright. Let's go ahead and pan this one. Now we can put this one in the middle, or we can take this sound and we can kind of pan it off to the side a little bit. I like to pan it to the side just a little bit, so maybe like 5 to 15. Anywhere between there is where I'm going to pan that first hi-hat. So let's say around 10. The second sound we have right here, I believe, is another hi-hat, if I'm not mistaken. Yup. So this hi-hat, I'm probably going to pan this hi-hat to the right. So let's go ahead and let's split that into mono. Let's get rid of this one. Keep this one. Unsolo this, hide and make it active, bring that to 0, let's bring it over to the right like I said, add some more texture, some more body. I want to bring this one more to the middle because since this one plays a little bit more, I want to put this one more in the middle and pan the other one to the right. Yeah, that sounds. It's going to sound interesting. Let's so we don't have to listen to the beginning every time. Let's go ahead and highlight that one. Let's play it from right there. And I like the way it sounds so far. Let's go into the next sound. We got another kick. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna split this one as well. Split in a mono. Now if you're using so many kicks like I'm using in this specific example, you don't want to have so many kicks in the middle. If you don't need a kick, get rid of the kick. Plain and simple, because then you're going to create muddiness. So if anytime you have a lot of different sounds on the same frequency range, I'm going to explain frequencies in a second, but anytime you have a lot of sounds on the same frequency range, you're looking for trouble. You're going to get a lot of mud in those specific kick drum areas, which is the low end. So if you are pretty much making a lot of hip hop where we have a lot of low end, you're going to have a lot of muffled, distorted sound. It's going to sound bad. There's going to be a lot of clipping and just weirdness through your headphones, through the speakers, through the radio. You don't want that. So what you want to do is you want to actually try to like give each kick drum its own space, or get rid of the ones you don't need, or try to EQ and things like that in a certain way. I'm gonna explain that in a few minutes. Now, like I said, let's go ahead and get rid of two of these, the stereo and the right version. Let's go ahead and unsolo those two so we know which ones we're getting rid of. Hide and make inactive. This kick drum, keep it in the middle for now. Next sound we have is going to be, I believe it's a clap. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, it's a clap. Alright, let's go ahead and solo that one. Alright, so same thing with the clap. So the reason we don't want to have your kicks in stereo, like I said once again, is because of the stereo range. So what I want to do is just show you guys what that really is, so that you're not confused. Let me just bring up the kick we just got rid of, which is, this is the second kick. Let's go ahead and bring up the kick right before that. And let's go ahead and actually make this active real quick. Solo that. Go ahead, let's get rid of these solos. Alright, and let's just take a look at that kick. Alright, so what I'm going to pull up is my Ozone. Ozone comes with a stereo imager where I can see left and right what I have to work with, what I don't have to work with. And before I even continue on, let's just save that real quick, Command S. And let's just get rid of these extra sounds, these extra effects. And let's bring up our imager. So now when I play this sound, this stereoized kick drum, you see these lines right here? Anything below this line on the left or the right is going to get lost when you play this on a mono system. So say you're playing it through your phone speakers or some type of mono device that doesn't pick up well stereo, you're going to lose that. So when you go to sum to mono, if this is being overlapped, you're probably going to not get those frequency sounds. So you don't want to have anything past those areas, and this is probably going to hit -1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this so you guys can see the difference. Alright. If I would increase this right here, this low end, you're going to get a lot of distortion on that. Alright. We don't want any of that. Alright, let's get rid of that. Hide and make it active. Let's go to this one. And this one is going to be the monoed version of that kick. Anytime you see a top and a bottom, that means left. This means right. Left is the top, right is the bottom. If I pan it to the right, hard, it's that way. If I pan it to the left, hard, it's this way. Alright, same thing with the mono tracks. Left side panned, right side panned. Alright, Command Z back to 0. Here we go, we're going to continue on. And I already know that the rest of these are going to be in mono. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save you guys the hassle. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to split them all into mono. Now I'm just doing the same exact thing as I did before, as I split them into mono. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those first stereo tracks. Boom. Get rid of that right track, stereo track, right track, stereo track, right track, stereo track, right track. I already know it. I don't need these. I'm going to hide and make inactive. They're gone. All I have is the left sides. I'm going to go ahead and bring them right to the middle. Alright. So I have a starting point. Alright. Shout out to OFK Gaming. I see you, my mans. Was good. Alright. Now, as we continue to go on, what we're going to do is play all of these sounds soloed one at a time and see what sounds good where. So start off again one more time. Let's start with, this time, let's start off with the hi-hats. Alright. Got the hi-hat playing dead in the middle. Okay, let's put the other one in. It sounds alright. Let's bring in a kick. Bring in a clap. Bring the clap a little bit to the right. Let's bring in whatever the sound this is. This is a snare. Let's bring it to the left a little bit. Let's bring it to 10. Next sound we have is another snare. We'll leave this snare dead middle. And we'll leave this this rim shot dead in the middle, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring in this 808. And I'm not gonna show you guys any tricks to make your 808s punch more, not right now. I'm just gonna show you guys exactly what we're doing as far as mixing a plain beat. Let's go to add a second kick, the other 808, and this kind of has that bouncer beat to it. Cause once I bring this sound in, we got what we're looking for already. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start editing these sounds. First I'm gonna do a quick EQ on this. I use Infinity EQ from Slate Digital. I'm gonna do a quick EQ on our pad we have, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit Command S. Cause anytime I start seeing that spinning wheel, I'm gonna save it. As soon as the next thing pops up, I'm saving because I don't know what's gonna happen next. All right. And once again, if you guys don't already, make sure you guys follow me, like, share, subscribe to my channel because I'm giving you guys a lot of free content right now. All right. So once I start playing that first sound we got right here, this pad right here, you're gonna see the frequency range pop up. You're gonna see a lot of mids and a lot of low, a lot of high mids and a lot of mids in here. There's not a lot of lows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just let those roll off a little bit. And to actually hear this sound by itself, let's solo this sound. And let's kind of make it bigger right here. So this is where it wants to stand out. Let's make it big right here. I like to make a cut right here where the vocals come in and we make the highs roll off. And let's hear the difference. Alright, so that gives that sound its own space. Next I want to do the same thing with the 808s. The 808s are going to have its own space as well, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this real quick, Command S, open up that next EQ, Infinity EQ on our 808s. Now what I like to do is, you see the lows are going to have its own space. We're going to go ahead and let the highs roll all the way off. I don't want any highs on that bad boy. Alright, let's kind of round that off. Let the lows roll off towards the bottom, around 20. Bring that up a little bit more. Hearing that 808 pop, it's starting to punch a little bit more. There's another trick to that 808, but I'm not going to do it right now, guys. Too much information going on day 5. Like, share, subscribe. Once again, I'm giving out a lot of secrets. Adding another sound. We got another 808, I believe. That's going to be our kick 808. And we're going to give it its own space as well. Drag this one over here. And if you guys can hear, if we put the same effect on each of these sounds, they're gonna collide. You're gonna hear like a clip sound. So what we're gonna do on this sound is we're gonna look at it by itself. So what we're gonna do with this one is we're gonna take off the lows a little bit more, and we're gonna leave less. We're gonna give more highs to this one. Bring this part right here around 200 to 300 up, so we get more of the kick. You hear that kick coming in? I'm gonna mute this one real quick, guys. Mute it real quick. And I'm going to kind of lower the spot right here at about 50 because it's already in the other sound. Alright, let's cut narrowly. A narrow cut is going to help us out. The narrow cut, what the narrow cut's going to do is a narrow cut is going to allow more frequencies to play and specific frequencies to get cut out so that we're not having a lot of muffledness. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I'm going to copy this edit to A, and we're going to do that real quick. So if I take that cut and I were to make that cut wider, we're losing more sound, right? As opposed to this cut on B. That's the first, that's the bad one. And as opposed to B, where we have more of that frequency range in there, all right? So what we're gonna do is leave it like this, bring in the other two sounds. All right, and let's go ahead and add the hi-hats. The hi-hats need its own spot. Hi-hats should be more in the upper highs. Command S, let's save. Let's erase and add some texture to that bad boy. There we go. Alright, there's no lows, let's get rid of them. No lows. Bring in that sound, that synth again. That pad. other hi-hat down here. Let's go ahead and let's copy that one over there. Alright, we're gonna give this hi-hat its own frequency range as well. It's a little bit smaller. Alright, let's go ahead and raise a little bit higher up here. Alright, I like this so far. I like it, I like it, I like it. Alright, once again, shout out to everybody on the live feed. Alright, now I see y'all. Salute to y'all. Like, share, subscribe, share this live. Alright, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add this next sound we got. The other kick. So we got 3 kicks that's fighting for space right now. Alright, what we're gonna do is, let's see. Let's get rid of the lows about a little bit higher. This one has more highs. We'll cut off at about 10K. And we'll raise this one. Let's sweep and find out. Let's sweep. Let's sweep. We want to find the punchiest part of this kick. So there's too much punch right here. Too much punch. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's bring it up around right here. Alright. And this way both of the kicks kind of gel together and mix in a certain way. I do a technique where I combine certain kicks to get a certain sound. I'm not going to show you guys that today. Once again, I'm going to just keep it very simple for you guys. I like this right here. I like the way this sounds right here. I'm going to bring in that synth again. Make sure you guys hit that live feed, hit that live chat right now, guys. I'm going to add the clap sound in. Alright, go ahead. Once again, if you guys are looking for this specific EQ, it's Infinity EQ by Slate Digital. I'm going to leave a link in the description at the end of this video. Alright, the claps are very important. I don't want the lows this low. We already have enough going on down here. That's the right for me. Now, if you guys notice, I never boost anywhere higher than 3 decibels. I never go anything higher than that unless it's a special project where I have to do that to that specific sound. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tag on this snare we have. Let's see what frequency range we're messing with. This snare kind of has a lot of frequency ranges. I definitely want to cut out the lows a little bit. And I want to give it more body on the snare. They want to give me the 5K range. But the thing about the 5K range is that's where a lot of vocal clarity is when you start recording your vocals. You don't want to have a lot of sounds that are colliding at 5K. The frequencies go across. The decibels go up and down. So pretty much it starts at 20 hertz and it goes all the way up to 20 kilohertz. And at 5K, which is 5 kilohertz, you're gonna hear a lot of harsh sounds if you start adding too much boost right here. And a lot of sounds are high at the 5K range, as well as the 2. Anywhere between 2 and 5K, you're gonna hear a lot of clashing, a lot of tss. You don't want to hear that. That's called sibilance. That's called tss. All right. You don't want to hear a song. All you hear is in your ear. It sounds like a snake is in your ear or somebody's whispering and they can't whisper that well in your ear. You don't want to hear that. Alright? So let's go down. Let's drop that specific frequency range to about 3. Once again, that's why I use 3. Tighten it up. And it adds that to the top of that trap snare we have. Now, another thing we're going to do is we're going to add the other snare in. In a little bit more. I'm gonna bring up the EQ on this snare right here. I'm gonna go to Command S that, save that. somebody on my live asked me why the claps so important. Pretty much the claps in this specific genre of music, I guess you guys can call this trap or whatever you guys want to call it, hip hop trap. The claps kind of give it the cadence, if you guys know what I mean. The clap is the alright, boom. Like the kick is gonna give you the bounce or the pace, most likely things like that. The snare is gonna give you the end of the bar. Alright, it's gonna give you the middle of the bar, the end of the bar. That's what the snare does. The snare is the pulse. The kick drum is more like the bounce. The snare is the pulse. And the clap is the pulse. Alright, you can use them in a certain way so that they actually combine and they create this specific rhythm to the right and to the left of what you got going on in the center. Alright, usually you don't want too many sounds in the center because that's where your vocal's going to be. Your vocal's going to be dead center. Sounds around your vocal, pads, pianos, guitars, more on the outside, surrounding all of that. And then it's going to give that listener that stereo image. It's like, yo, this is just a masterpiece. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Soul, where the dude was playing the piano and he was like so involved in the song he was playing that he actually, it like screen blacked out. He was in the song. He was so zoned out that's how you want your songs to be. You don't want your songs to be 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. You want to be 4-dimensional. You want them to feel your music like, yo, I felt like I was just now there. All right, that's the key to making a hit, being remembered in this industry. If you guys are just making songs to make them to go viral, and not to be heard emotionally or have some type of effect on the listener, you're not gonna make it in this industry, hands down. Even though we're in a viral industry, a viral time period, you won't have any longevity. That's why old school music is always gonna hit. Old school music is always gonna be very, very important. It's gonna touch you guys emotionally first before it touches you guys, your ears and stuff like that. All right, today's music doesn't do that. So try to incorporate that into your music and you'll be great. Let's get back to the mix. Let's go ahead and let's add this next sound, which is the last rim shot. And on this rim shot, what I want to do is this sound is so in the middle, I want this sound to pop out the most. This is my most steady sound in this whole thing. Because as you guys can see, this snare hits twice right here. This snare hits at the end. The claps, they kind of consistent, but they're doing its own thing. That's more of a follow-up percussive sound. It's more like a percussion sound. The hi-hats, they do their own thing. That's not really a tempo sound. The hi-hat is more of a filler sound. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean in a second. Alright, so that's our most consistent sound. It comes in every half a bar, pretty much. Alright, and let's go ahead and let's edit that real quick. We're gonna make this one punch. Everything I just did in this Infinity EQ, you can do in your Pro Tools stock EQ. So if you guys were to go to your Pro Tools EQ and go ahead and hit, let's just unmute. Let's just put that back on. If you go to your Pro Tools EQ, you go to plugin, go to EQ, and you go to EQ 7 band. This is your Pro Tools stock EQ. You can do everything I just did. It's just not going to show you the waveforms. So your low frequencies, your lower mid frequencies, your mid frequencies, your high mids, and your high frequencies. I'm going to show you guys what that is corresponding to what I have up here. So check this out. If you guys want to leave two screens on your computer, just hit this red button right here. It's going to leave both of them up there. Alright, so the low frequency, this is the low frequency range. The low mids will be right here. The mids will be right here between 5 and 2. High mids 2 to 5. And anything above 5K is going to be your highs. Alright guys? Now you also have the option to make a high pass filter or a low pass filter. That's exactly what I did right here. Alright, when you cut down like this, you're creating a low pass. When you cut down on this side, you're creating a high pass. Because when you cut down like this, with this bottom slope, everything on this side is a low. These are the lows. You're allowing the lows to pass through the headphones. And you're cutting the highs. So it's called a high cut or a low pass. This is called a low cut or a high pass. This curve right here is called a bell curve because it's kind of shaped like a bell. Alright, and this is called a shelf. Very easy to remember. You have the option to change it from a shelf or a high pass. I'm sorry, a low pass or a bell. Same thing over here. Bell, high pass. I'm sorry, these are shelves actually. The low pass would be right here, the high pass would be right here. So this is going to be a bell in your shelf, bell in your shelf. And then you got your input, your output, your input, your output. That's really all that is. And another thing that's very important once you guys edit these sounds is you check for clipping right around here in your specific ins and outs. So like I just said, in this one, you don't want to have red. Once you see red, go ahead and click on that. Wherever it clips, you want to make sure you drop that specific sound back down low. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to exit out of that, run through these sounds one more time and see what's clipping, what's not clipping. Let's go to our EQs. I'm not getting a clip right here. I'm good. Let's go to our 808s. Let's get rid of this. No shirt. I'm not getting clipping. Once you start, I'm getting clipping, so I'm going to back off a little bit on the output. I'll leave it like that. Let's go into this kick drum. No clipping, I'm good. Let's go to the hi-hats. I'm pretty good. I can raise the hi-hats. And I kind of like it where it was at. A little bit low on the lower end. Leave that like that is right there. The other hi-hats right here. Let's see what happens right here. No clipping at all. It's not even hitting the hearing threshold. Let's go ahead and raise that. Alright, we can raise it as much as we want. And I'll go ahead and I'll edit it afterwards, guys. Let's take a listen to the kick drum next. Here we go. I already see the clipping right here on the side. Alright, so we're going to back off on this pick. So another technique, instead of backing off on the output, let's go ahead and bring the output back up. You guys can do this right here in your EQ7 band. Let's just save it real quick. In your EQ7 band, EQ7 band, we do the same exact thing. So let's leave this up here. And we're gonna, instead of adjusting the output, let's adjust the input. Let's go ahead and highlight that. And Control Shift and down is going to drop them all at the same time. So what we just did is we dropped the input of the specific audio clips we have. I can say the audio waveform clips. And it's going to stop clipping. I'm going to drop it one more time because the first one clipped. And what I can do is I can raise the volume to give me more punch. Same thing right here, just lower the input, raise the output. Same exact thing, guys. Let's get back to the mix. Exit out, Command S, let's save that. Let's go ahead and let's no insert that, get rid of that. The next sound is going to be our trap sound. What is this? It's another clap. I'm not getting enough claps through my headphones, through my speakers. Let's raise a clap sound. Go ahead to this sound right here. This is the rip shot, I believe. Nope. It's another snare. This is going to be our snare that we pin over to the side. Let's raise it up. I want this snare on the right though. Alright. Back off of it a little bit. like this. Alright, let's see our next sound. We have our snare. Alright, and last but not least, we have our rim shot. Command S. Anytime your computer starts running slow, make sure you guys hit that save button. Before I do this last sound, I want you guys to make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe on my channel. Tell somebody about what's going on right here. I'm giving you guys live mixes, how to become great on your downtime. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. My email is ItsDjLeemusic@gmail.com. Send me a song, send me something you're working on. If you got questions, you need help, send it to me. I got you guys. I'll do a live for you guys. All right. So let's do that. All right. Let's just definitely do that. All right. Let's get back into it. All right. So I'm getting clipping already. I can see the ceilings on the sound. Control shift down. Let's get that back under control. And let's go ahead and let's raise this right here. Back to 0. Lower that down a little bit more. Sounds too loud, way too loud. Alright, that sounds alright to me. As a mix, that sounds pretty good. And that's just with EQing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start busting these sounds, and I'm going to start adding some compression to certain sounds, like our clap and our snare drum and our rim shot. This is going to help us contain our mix in a certain way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the, let's go to plugins, let's go to dynamics, and let's go to dynamic 3 compressor limiter. This comes with Pro Tools. And we'll put that on this track. We'll put this on our snare, and we'll put this on. We'll leave it like that. These are going to be our loudest sounds, and maybe this snare right here. We might add some compression too. And all compression is really going to do is compression is going to take our dynamics. So dynamics is how high and how low a sound goes. Like the dynamic range would be the highest peak and the lowest point of a song, of a sound. So if my sound goes up to 3 decibels, that's the range. You understand? That's the highest range. And you want to have all of your sounds. You don't want to have sounds that hit up here, some sounds hit up here. You want your loudest sound to hit the same volume or almost the same volume as your lowest sound, so we can meet those sounds somewhere in the middle and make up with a little bit of output gain. That's really what compression is. So a few words you need to know about compression is going to be threshold, ratio, attack, release, gain, and knee. Yup, knee. So what that means is the knee is how soft or how hard the compression is. Your ratio is going to be how much compression. The threshold is going to be at which point. So pretty much which point you want to start compression. Say your sound reaches this high, you're not going to compress up here. You want to compress where that sound reaches. You understand? They're here or lower. Attack is going to be how fast your compression actually hits. How fast your compressor takes to hit that threshold. All right. Your release is going to be for how long is that sound going to be compressed for. And your gain is going to be your makeup sound. So if I take a sound that's up here and I smash it down to match a sound that's over here, we have to bring those sounds back up to sound full in that mix. You want to hear those sounds in the mix. So that's what our gain is going to do. So we take a sound, smash it down to about here, and we make up for output gain. It's very simple once you guys see it in live action. So I'm going to go and I'm going to play this real quick, and you guys are going to see what I'm doing. I'm going to solo just this sound so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's Command S that real quick. If you guys know what that means, drop it in the comments. Alright, this is our sound. We're going to take the threshold and we're going to bring the threshold all the way up here. Alright, so when I drop the threshold, that sound is getting smushed crazy. You hear how smushed that sound is? It's getting all the way smushed. If I open up the threshold, it's back to normal. Now if I take this knee, right? Let's change the ratio to about 1. This is pretty much no, let's change it to 2, because 1 is like no compression. If I bring it to 2, a ratio of 2 to 1, what you're getting right here is pretty good compression, and we're gonna drop the threshold to hear how it sounds. All right, it's making the sound real flat. So what that is really doing is taking that sound that's that high and it's compressing it at a 2 to 1 ratio. For every 2 decibels above that threshold it goes, you compress it down 1 decibel. I'm sorry, for every 1 decibel it goes above, you compress it down 2 decibels. Now your knee is going to be how sharp, how hard that hits. Alright, so if you guys make the knee very sharp, it's gonna be almost like the normal sound. If you guys make it soft, it's gonna kind of flatten the sound out. It's gonna sound really soft. So we're gonna keep it like that, a hard compression. We're going to take the threshold, raise it back up to about right here. How fast I love fast attack on specific sounds. Like if it's a snare drum, you want to have a fast attack. You don't want to have a snare drum sound like you don't want a snare drum that does that. The release, we're going to make a fast release as well. You use a slower release time on things like maybe sometimes kick drums, singers' vocals, things like that. And I'll leave it like this, but what I'm going to do is I have to make up for that compression by raising the gain. And I'm cool with that. I'm gonna raise it a little bit more, guys. Alright, leave it like that. That clap is coming in kind of loud, so I'm gonna drop the clap sound, add some compression to it. Let's solo it real quick, hear how it sounds. Let's pick up a softer knee. Drop the compression to 2, same compression. Start it, bring it right here. We'll have a fairly slower release, and we'll have a fast attack once again. All right, let's hear how that sounds. I'm gonna separate the clap. Least we have this sound right here. Let's see what this sounds like by itself. This snare. All right, this snare is too much compressed. Threshold got to go back up. 2 to 1. The knee will make the knee a little bit softer, but not as soft as the clap. 1.5. You guys can just highlight it, put it, and type it into 1.5. All right, just drop the threshold. Raise the gain a little bit. See how that sounds. As you guys can see, we got clipping. We gotta lower that gain. Lower the gain some more. Let's make the attack quicker. There we go. Hit the release time down. So somebody asked me, do I pick my rhythm before or change it up as I go on? Well, honestly, I go off of a vibe. So if I get a vibe where I could just be in the area, be in the space, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add sounds that I think fit. So if I wanna listen to this beat in my head, I'm thinking of a flow in my head. And if I feel like I could flow a certain way, I'm gonna add a sound at the end of that flow. So say this is playing, and I'm bouncing it. And I start to hear something in my head where I'm like, oh, checking my damn with a van fly. So I wanna get blind, try to get and where I have crevices, and if I have too much something where I don't think an artist or somebody can play with that beat and have enough area, enough space to let the artist actually work, then I have to take things out. All right, that's why you hear a lot of artists saying they want a beat where the producer lets it breathe. You know what I'm saying? They want less producer, more artist room. So I would probably take some of these sounds out, but let's hear how it sounds. We can take some sounds out. All right, and now let's go ahead and let's play this from the beginning because we didn't even get the hi-hats in there. I'm gonna play the whole 16 bar loop so you guys can hear what we have so far. Command S, remember guys, Command S. Alright, so next thing you guys wanna also be mindful of when you're doing your beat is your master bus, because this is the final audio that you have to send out for mastering. And if you have clipping right here, you have to change something. Something's not right. You have to edit something. And we got to find out where the clipping is coming from. I don't want that. Obviously, I don't want that snare drum right there. That got to go. I don't like the way that comes in. I definitely don't need these sounds in the beginning. It's the intro. I don't even think I want that in there in the beginning. I'll probably take out that second snare on both these. Right, and if I have my sound effects Command S, I'll probably throw a sound effect in there. Have something cooking up, so let's see. Let's go to let's add a new track. After you get your mix kind of established, you can go ahead and start throwing sounds in there, playing around with it, and seeing what you can come up with. All right, so we're gonna go to bring up another instrument track real quick. And I know this is a very in-depth tutorial live session, but this is the most work happens in the mixing stage. I promise you guys. I'll probably add some vocals to this next time I see you guys and see what happens. But let's say I have some sounds. Let's open up my sounds. Let's say I got these sounds playing, right? Let's see if I can get plugged up real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Machine. Let's get this on. If I play this sound, and I got my mix and I go crack, crack, and I play something like that, you have sound effects to fill the area. You can edit your sounds, drop certain sounds down low. And it's nothing too crazy. It's simple things that you can just do to add to your song. It's gonna add some flavor. I'm gonna put that stereo, make my mix sound better. Crack, crack. Alright, let's see what we got. Crack, crack. I wanna make this sound a little bit, make that feedback a little bit more. Crack, crack. Play around with your sounds and just go off of a vibe that you get. If you guys understand what I'm saying, it's really how you feel about your music. And I add those in there for you guys so you guys can keep that feeling. still clipping. I think it's this 808 right here, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna save this real quick. Command S. Let's back off on that. Control, drop that down. Let's play this real quick, guys. See what we messing with. Drop that lower for you. You can add all types of sounds like
Whoa!
where we're at right now. Let's take a look at the master one more time. The master track, the master bus. This is not where you master your song. This is just a master reference. So if this is a master reference, anything I add to this track is gonna affect everything. So let's save this one more time. Play this, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open up my Ozone, and I'm gonna give it a fake master to hear how it would sound mastered. Very, very, very quick. I got some presets saved up. All right, give me a good starting point. Because I still got to add my reverbs. I didn't add any reverbs or anything like that to my sounds. Let's do that real quick. Let's go ahead and let's make that inactive. And let's save that. And let's go ahead and let's pick up on our hi-hats. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll do a bus. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to A. I'm going to go to bus. And I'll do bus 1 and 2. Well, let's see what our reverb is on. Our D-verb, which is our reverb, is on bus 1 and 2. So yeah, go to our hi-hat, we go to bus 1 and 2, and we're gonna add the reverb over reverb, I got my EQs, I got my compression, and I got the basics for a beat right now. All I have to do is create my bridges, create my verses, create my hook parts, my breakdown, and I'll show you guys that next time. But I think that right now we have the foundation for a great beat when it comes to panning your beats. It comes to editing your sounds, manipulating your sounds, and you can do this with any sound. You can go ahead and you can record a clap, go record you bouncing a basketball and use that as a kick drum if you just edit it the right way. And this is how you just go on and you start to manipulate sounds to use your creativity to become a better audio engineer, producer, mastering engineer, whatever you guys plan on using your producing skills for, your engineering skills for. And with that being said, guys, I want to remind you guys to like, share, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe, tell a friend to subscribe. If you know any artists that are doing music, I want you guys to tell them to reach out to me. I'm going to start sharing their music on this live. I have a lot of DJ mixes coming out for you guys. I want you guys to check in, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram at ItsDjLee. Follow me on TikTok at ItsDjLee TV. Drop your social media handles in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to everybody that was going crazy in the chat. I see you guys. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. Shout out to OD Hustle. Shout out to Olympian Official. Shout out to ItsDjLee. And shout out to ItsDjLee TV. And once again, you guys, shout out to you guys for making this all possible. Next time I'm going to see you guys. Until then, I'm out. Think different. Be different. ItsDjLee.